Hello my friends, Asoka the Geek here, and for this review we're going to take a look at the new McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Justice League Task Force video game edition wave of action figures. So these figures are based on the Justice League Task Force video game from the 90s, and they are done in this sort of video game-esque paint deco to kind of recreate a video game feel. Do they succeed in that? We'll get into that. We'll talk about it in the review. I, of course, ordered my set from the McFarlane Toys online store, but these have been showing up for a few weeks now. I even saw this Batman at GameStop a few weeks ago, so you shouldn't have any problem finding these figures. Now, they do collect and connect to build a dark side figure, so that will be fun as well. So without further ado, let's get these figures out of the packaging. And actually, before we do that, I want to note, I do love the packaging on these. I love it when they add a little bit of flair, when they change it up a little bit and add some specific branding, some colors on the side of it, just enough to, you know, make it a little bit different, not totally changing the packaging. But I like different packaging. Even though I am a out-of-the-box collector, I do like seeing unique packaging. So that is something I do like with the, especially on the side there with the fire and the yellows and the Task Force logo. Anyways, let's get these guys out of the package and take a closer look. Alright, so here are all the figures outside of the packaging. So they each come with a trading card. Of course, there is Aquaman. There is Batman. There's the back of the card. There's Flash. And then there is Superman. So standard artwork. I don't think anything specific to the video game, but there you go. And then here are the figures themselves. So let me kind of do a little monologue about how I feel about these figures. I'm very mixed about these figures. When they were first announced, I was like, no, I'm not going to order these. These look too weird. But as I looked at more pictures, I'm like, I kind of like them. Okay, I'm going to order them. So here they are. So I definitely ordered them. Do I think these figures succeed in being a representation of the video game? I think it's hit and miss. I think some of them do, some of them don't. I have no affection for this video game. I never played it. I vaguely remember the box art. I had a Nintendo. I think this was on Sega, if I'm again not mistaken, but I never had this video game, so I was not clamoring for a video game or action figures from Justice League Task Force. I do admire McFarlane Toys, though, for trying this out, for doing something different, doing a different style. It's fun. It's a fun wave. You know, overall, it's just a fun, gimmicky, different, offbeat wave. I would have preferred, honestly, if it was a straight-up Justice League Task Force wave, because even looking at this Wally West Flash, I would have loved just to have a standard, classic Wally West Flash. I think the belt on this looks great, but then the logo is obviously pixelated to mimic the 8-bit, not the 8-bit, I think it was 16-bit, right? Or the graphics of the video game. And so there you go. That's kind of my opinion on it. So it's very mixed. I do like the wave in concept. I do think it's a fun wave to do, but I still would have preferred a straight up Justice League Task Force edition. It would have been great if they had just done a regular Justice League Task Force. These were all painted in the regular style, and that these were the platinums. That would have been really cool. That way you could have really picked and chose what you wanted. If they come out with another set of these that is a standard wave, I will definitely pick it up. That'll be annoyed, but what are you gonna do? Anyways, let's get into the figures themselves. Kind of go through each one, and I'll give you my thoughts on them. So let's start off with the man up front, the Flash. So each figure does come with these like energy punching things to kind of mimic, you know, like a video game sort of there. So there's that. I probably won't display them with it, but I think it's a nice addition. And then here's the Flash, and this is one of the ones where I feel like it is not video game-y enough. Some of the paint there, like the pixelated logo is video gamey, but the rest of it could be a regular figure. But I can't really display it as a regular figure now because it's just off enough to where you can't display it as a video game figure. I guess that's one of my critiques with this wave. I wish it was way more video game looking on some of these figures, like this one. I think on the top of the head there, you can see the paint there trying to make it look more pixelated, but overall it looks like a regular Multiverse figure just with a pixelated logo. But from that perspective, then you look at the back, it's not painted at all in any of these video game colors. So from the back, it definitely looks like just a regular Multiverse figure, which I would have loved for this Flash. If it was a darker red, shinier red to really recreate his 90s look, that's what I would have really liked from this figure. So there you go. You've seen this body before, but I think it works for the figure, for the Flash, of course. Good range of motion. There's the toe articulation. But yeah, so this is a mixed one for me as far as it looking like a video game. I think it doesn't really hit that mark for me. And as a figure also now it's a little bit off. So there you go. Okay, so there's the Flash. Put him aside. And we will go to Batman next, which is actually my favorite video game version of the wave. I think this one really achieves what they were going for because most of the figure is painted in that more pixelated color scheme, and even the face, as you can see, looks kind of pixelated. So I think this one really achieves what they were going for with the whole video game theme. So to me, I think this is a good example of how they all should have been. Just more, I think, pixelation on the face especially. But I really love this Batman. I think it looks fantastic. Of course, the cloth wired cape is fantastic. I love the big bat logo on it. Love the grays of it. The blues, almost purple. Yeah, I think this one turned out great. Again, the back is not painted at all. So you could kind of see what could have been if this was a regular figure by the paint on the back. But all right. But yeah, again, I think this is the best one of the wave as far as achieving that video game look. And I love this figure. This one I will definitely, probably, most likely display just because I think it turned out great. So there's the head there. And there you go. So there's Batman. Excuse me. Next up is Aquaman. This is my favorite figure of the wave. Batman, I think, is the most video game looking, but Aquaman is my favorite just figure of this wave. I just love this crazy head sculpt. It looks awesome. It's just, I really love it. It reminds me of a particular artist from either the late 90s or the 2000s. I love this crazy flowing hair like he's underwater. That look of disgust on his face, you know, that pretentious look, a very Arthur Curry look to him. And I think this figure can work as a normal figure as well. There goes the trident, and the hand went off with it. Let me grab that there. So yeah, the hand just popped up there. Okay, the trident, you know, it's already bowing. That is definitely something they need to work on, and it keeps just coming off here. So let's just take the trident off completely. Yeah, my little hand on this guy is a little bit loose, but yeah, this body's been used quite a bit. It is time for a new Aquaman body, but I love this figure. This looks great. Again, and it's even painted on the back this time a little bit on the chainmail there. That looks nice. Pants aren't up, but that's okay. At least we got some paint on the back. But yeah, I just love this figure for the head sculpt. This is going to be a definite display piece for me because, man, I just love that head sculpt. This is crazy. Look at it. Oh, so awesome. Love it. Love it. So yeah, that is my favorite figure of this wave. And then again, the trident, you know, man, they really got to put a little more harder plastic in this because all these weapons bow so easily. Next up is honestly my weakest figure of the wave, or in my opinion, the weakest figure of the wave, unfortunately, is Superman. This is an example of where, you know, the costume, very pixelated, but the face, not pixelated at all. So it's like a man of two worlds there. He's not really video game looking. He's not really, you know, regular Superman looking. There's the back of it, not painted, or it was painted but not video game painted. So there you go. And then I don't really care for their choice they made on painting this. It just looks like has like some battle damage. I don't know. It just came out a little odd looking. The face sculpt, a lot of people have been down on this face sculpt. I love this face sculpt. Very 90s mullet era, obviously, head sculpt. I really hope they release this figure as a standard Superman, because I like this mulleted Superman head sculpt. That's just me. I like it. What can I say? I like the hair on it. I think it looks great. The wired cape, obviously. But yeah, I think this is the weakest one as far as looking. This one and the Flash. At least the Flash can still... All right, the hand just flew off there. Hold on one sec. As I get the hand there. The Flash, at least you can kind of pass as a regular figure. But this guy, yeah, again, he just does not capture either look, the video game or a regular figure, in my humble opinion. So there's that. But yeah, I hope we get a regular version of this figure. Then last but certainly not least, we have Darkseid. So this Darkseid was released a few months ago. It was a Superpowers classic looking Darkseid. Now they released it like this, and I love this figure. I think this works just as a great regular Darkseid. Again, I don't think it achieves that full video game look. And I think that's okay, because I think this is just an awesome looking Darkseid. I love the darkness of the skin on this, the dark gray, and the head sculpt I think is fantastic. Yeah, I love this Darkseid. This guy does not move around that well. I'm sure if I start moving around, it might pop off. It was a Build-A-Figure. Not that much articulation. He's kind of a brick, but he looks cool standing there at least. So, oops. There we go. But yeah, I do love this Darkseid figure. But anyways, let me come back and put them all back together and give you some final thoughts here. All right, so there they are, all reassembled together as a group. So final thoughts, I do like this wave a lot. I'm glad I picked it up. Some hits, some misses for me, but overall I really like these, especially the Aquaman, Batman, and Darkseid. Those are my 3 favorites of the lot. Superman and the Flash being the weakest, but again, it's a fun wave. Glad they're trying something new. Would like regular versions of these as well at some point, but there you have it. Curious what you guys think. Did you guys order this wave? Do you love this wave? Do you think it captures the video game look? We'd love to hear your opinions in the comments below. I will do some more content on my Instagram, Asoka the Geek, and maybe some more YouTube shorts comparing him to other figures and whatnot. But for now, there's your look at the Justice League Task Force wave. Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate your time, and have a great day.